Hello everybody, it is Andrea from Energy Healing by Andrea. So I just wanted to come on and make a quick video about trauma. So trauma is trauma. There is no competition with trauma. There is no trauma that trumps anybody else's trauma. I feel like we're in a world where we feel like we can't talk about our traumas because they're not as bad as other people's, or other people want to comment, well, that's not as bad as what I went through. This is not fair, and this might be a very unpopular opinion, but I'm telling you, as a person that releases complex post-traumatic stress disorder for people, a specific traumatic situations, events, and experiences for people, when I'm releasing them and I can feel how it feels on the inside, even though it might sit in different parts of the body, the pain level is the same. And for a lot of my clients, they feel like they can't say that they've had traumatic events because it's not as bad as other people's. But unless you have experienced a huge trauma and then a small trauma, and you can say, oh, well, this is bad, but like at least it wasn't as bad as this time. Like, you can do that. But if you've never gone up here and you're only here, then you're allowed to experience that trauma in the way that it feels for you. Throughout our lifetime, we're told that, oh, suck it up, buttercup, things could be worse. We weren't allowed to talk about the bullying. We weren't allowed to talk about the things that we were going through that made us sad. Even if it was like a small breakup and people would be like, oh my God, you only dated for like a little bit, who cares? These are still trauma, like things that we have went through. These are pains, these are emotional hurts. This is filling our body with dis-ease and discomfort and imbalance. And the more that we hold that in and we don't talk about it and we don't have a support system and we don't feel safe to say, hey, this hurts, then the more that stuff is going to create problems within the mind and body. You're going to be living through like different filters. You're going to be foggy, zombie-like, robot-like. Your body is going to be really not working the way that it should. It's going to start to shut down. Things are not going to work properly. You could get diseases, all of that stuff, because you're holding it in because you feel like you're not allowed to talk about something that hurt you because it's not as bad as somebody else. This is just not true. If you are not in relationships or friendships or families where you feel like you can express yourself and say, hey, this upset me, this made me sad, then you need to start maybe revisiting who some of these people are in your life, and then maybe finding support groups and stuff like that so you can talk about it and feel heard, feel like you have a voice, be allowed to talk about your life experiences, because that is what is going to help heal you. That is what is going to help make your body and mind function better. So, as a person that has experienced emotional neglect and verbal and mental abuse and physical abuse, those things are all different, but they have all led me to have certain reactions and responses within the body that I've had to work through, and they were all equally painful. So when people say, well, maybe I was neglected, but at least I wasn't hit or something, those are two completely different things, and you're allowed to feel upset and sad about each one separately. Or when I was getting divorced and moving countries and quitting jobs and all of the things, there was a girl I worked with that broke up with her boyfriend of 6 months, and she was upset about it. I sat there and listened, and then she was like, oh my God, like, I just realized you're going through all of this stuff right now. And I said, so? You're not. You don't know how it feels to be where I am right now. Right now, where you are probably feels the exact same pain-wise, because you have not experienced that. So to you, this person that you thought you were going to spend your life with and broke your heart, that is just as heartbreaking and painful as what I'm going through. So everybody is allowed to experience their experience and their traumas, and they're allowed to talk about it, and they're allowed to be sad, and we have to be, or else we are going to cause ourselves so much problems on the inside. And also, when you have gone through, say, emotional neglect or mental, physical, whatever abuse, and you do not deal with those traumas, you are then going to be attracted to a certain type of person for the rest of your life, because that, by feeling like you don't have a voice, by feeling like you are not safe, you are going to be attracting friends and relationships into your life that are probably not good for you, but that's kind of what you know because you haven't healed that hurt part of you. So it is very important to get to the root of the problem. It's very important to be able to say, hey, this hurts, and to have people around you that want to listen, that want to help you, that want to make you feel good. And I get very upset sometimes when people say, well, you're not allowed to be sad because this situation is worse. Well, it's not, and they don't know what that feels like, so they are allowed to be sad in what they're experiencing right now. And to try to diminish that or take it away or making them feel less than is causing so much more harm than just sitting there and listening and saying, yes, I can understand why that would upset you. So trauma is trauma. It causes the same damage to the mind and body for everyone. And so please be a good support system for others, but also feel brave enough and strong enough to talk out how you feel and talk about things, because that's the only way that they're going to get out, and that is going to change the filter you see life through, and that is going to change who you have in your life, what you are going to be attracted to, not just person-wise, but just thing-wise for the rest of your life, because it's going to make you see situations differently by releasing that heavy energy out of you. Okay, I hope that made sense. I hope that it didn't tick anybody off. I understand that traumatic events are very hard to get through, but I feel like understanding that everybody's traumas are going to affect them in different ways, and that there is nobody that's better than anybody else for the trauma that they have gone through. That is not fair. It is not right. And yeah, I support all of you for all of your traumas, all the levels. I know everything can be scary, everything can be upsetting, and yeah, that's it. Have a great day.